Okay. Do I have a motion to reconvene to open session?
Motion to reconvene in open session.
And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and lead our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. And announcement of action is taken in closed session. So we gave direction on negotiations and recognition.
Yeah, full house. Thanks for coming. It's exciting because we haven't done this in a while. Our middle school belongs to a league called Mission Trail Junior Athletic League, which is pretty competitive. And to win a championship, it says something. If you go in the BV gym, it's on the walls, you'll see hanging a banner is a big thing, right? Because it's up there forever. And these girls, they did great. I mean, it was a competitive league. I think we have a young core, but thanks to our coaches and the girls, they actually won the whole thing. Good job, girls. So you could all come back and bring your daughters and son 25 years or 35 years, sorry guys, and point up and say, look at me, 2023, right? I'm a champ. So we're gonna call you up individually. Mrs. Jones, would you mind hanging these on them? And if you guys wouldn't mind assembling, this is the nice medallion, says MTJL Champions 23-24. Coaches, do you happen to have a roster? I have it on my phone, so do you guys happen to have one? Then I could do it. I'm good. I have it sent to me. I'm just gonna be rude and read it from my phone. Okay. All right. We're going to do alphabetically. Kaden Aguilera. She's a sock practice. Reese Barsoom. Mia Cordero. Yeah, please stay up here. We'll do a picture with the board after. Yep. Finley Devine. Anahi Dunstan. Penelope Guzman. Julia Hogendijk. Lucia Merscal. Caitlin Mendoza. Andrea Ortiz. Adele Ramirez. Rafaela Ramsey. Juliana Richards. Jillian Sherpinski. Aaliyah Schrager. And last but not least, Ella Uribe. This is your 2023-24 Mission Trail Junior Athletic League Soccer Champs. Good job, girls. Yeah, please. You can take them, yeah. There's only 2 or 3 that weren't here.
Yeah, okay. Stop passing that.
Yeah. Is it too early to say repeat? Repeat? Yeah. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming. Bye, guys. You can give them that. Now's the time. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but this is a good time if you would like to split and not hear about all the business. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Bye. Thank you. I know. It's the best part of the meeting.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to individuals desiring to address the board. Oh, is our Juliana? Oh, perfect timing. Yes.
There you go, right behind there. You're going to press the button until the top turns red. No.
Try holding it a little bit.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Oh, okay.
You're live. A lot of people are watching you right now.
Oh,
Stop.
Okay. So
She can
I
handle
would
it.
just like to know if there's any way that we could like try and get the 7th graders to go to science camp too, because like I feel like it's a very fun experience that we all like want to experience, and I feel like we all don't really want to miss out on it.
Thank you.
So
Great,
that's it.
thank you.
Julia, she's also the 7th grade president, so she speaks for her class, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6th grade. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank
They missed it
you.
because of, well, COVID and other things, yeah.
Okay, and Shelby Lehman?
yes, this is my annual. Hello, I'm Shelby Lehman. I am a mother of a 7th grader and then a high schooler at Salinas High. So, this is what a 7th grader. Those kids carry this. This is heavy. This is at least 20 pounds every day. They don't have band anymore, so they're not carrying their band instruments. They do have their light little bag of t-shirt and shorts and shoes they can keep in a locker cubby at the in the gym, so that's an improvement. And what else? Oh, and the lunch bag is in here, and all the books and the computer. This is ridiculous to have these kids carry this. You guys don't carry this much stuff to go to work. They should not have to carry this daily. Okay, that's my annual plug. And then the other plug is, please, can you please call Salinas High Board and see if you can coordinate breaks, spring breaks. Call them maybe, or if I'm going to go to their meeting too and say, hey, could you talk to your other districts that feed into there? Because there's probably kids at both that would like to go on a spring break together, families. So, and then also, please, the teachers deserve all the money. They're here doing all the things. give them all the money, give them all the raise, whatever negotiations, give them what they want. And and bus drivers, they deserve double because they are doing double with less people. So bus drivers too. And then any teacher that has a special request to make it possible to be a mom and a teacher to do two things that they really want, support them. We're losing teachers. We have no subs. Why? We need to do what we can to keep them and to help them. We love our community. We love Spreckels. They want to work here, but they have so many opportunities to make more money other places. So let's give them a reason to stay. So anything else? Anybody else have a comment I need to say? Okay, that's my annual plug.
Yeah, thank you.
See you
Thank
again.
you.
Oh, park in the parking lot. That's Spreckels City. Sorry, can't deal with those crazies. Thank you. Thank you for my time.
Thank you. Okay, bargaining unit presentations. Is there a representative from STA?
This is already on. I'd like to preface this with I volunteered for this gig last week when my throat wasn't bothering me, so bear with me. I am reading tonight on behalf of our STA president, Laura Villarega. So, good evening. This evening, I wish to shed light on several critical aspects that impact not only the quality of education, but also the well-being of our dedicated educators. I would like to bring attention to the ongoing negotiations regarding compensation. The increased cost of living has placed an additional burden on our teachers, who are the backbone of our educational system. As we navigate through these negotiations, it is critical to recognize and honor the dedication of our teachers who tirelessly work to shape the future of our students. Negotiations has been working tirelessly, and we are now looking into sunshining for the 24-25 school year. Teachers deserve to know they are valued for their time and effort, and we hope that decisions are made soon and with the acknowledgement that they are valued. Furthermore, I would like to thank the board for their ongoing efforts at articulation with teachers at both school sites. By understanding the unique challenges and opportunities each site presents, we can tailor our support to ensure that all teachers have the resources and environment they need to excel in their roles. We are still working on scheduling for Spreckels School, but we have had great conversations at Buena Vista. Collaboration is key, and we encourage open communication with the calendar committee. It is essential that our teachers have a voice in shaping the academic calendar to ensure it aligns with the best interests of both educators and students. Their insight and experiences can contribute significantly to the development of a balanced and effective calendar. In terms of professional development, I urge the board and administration to consider providing meaningful opportunities for our educators. Investing in their growth will not only benefit us individually, but will also have positive impacts on our entire educational community. Professional development should be a collaborative effort, and input from our teachers is invaluable in designing programs that are relevant and beneficial. As we embark on the 2024 year, we want to express our gratitude for the dedication and hard work of everyone involved in the education system. Let this year be a year of fresh beginnings, innovations, and continued excellence in education. Together, let us create an environment that fosters growth, collaboration, and success. In closing, we extend our heartfelt support to the board and their commitment to enhancing the educational experience for both teachers and students. By addressing these issues collaboratively, we can ensure that our schools thrive and remain beacons of learning and inspiration. Thank you for your time and consideration. And I personally just want to make two quick notes. Thank you, Odello and Divine, for meeting with the BV teachers a couple weeks ago. We appreciate your time and listening ears. And Hasagawa's not here, but I did want to tell him, if he's watching, that if by chance I encounter some Girl Scout cookies in the staff room in the near future, I would like to thank him in advance.
You can grab a couple over there if you want on the way out. We have some, yeah.
Which flavor?
Thank you. Is there anyone from CSEA? All right. Okay, board member comments. Steve? Peter?
I also want to thank the teachers that showed up and talked to Frank and I. It's pretty entertaining. And also, whoever paved along 5th Street for the parking lot, thank you for that. Whoever did that job is awesome. That's it.
Mystery, I don't know. We don't know who did it. By the
Yeah, along
VFW.
5th Street and right along TNA. Field right there.
So
About
that
4 feet, 5 feet of pavement right there.
so I can speak to that. Not because I had anything to do with it. I just happen to know that road was always there. It's just yeah. And so as part of the project of paving part of that project was to make sure that 5th Street is as it was intended originally. And we'll see maybe in 20 years, erosion and weather and stuff, but that's how wide the road should have been. Yeah, it will for now, yeah. Sure.
Right. Peter? I mean, sorry, Frank? No? Okay, then I don't have any comments tonight. All right. I don't think we had any oral or written communications.
Nope.
All right. Superintendent?
Just a couple quick comments. We recently passed the 100th day, which means we're more than halfway there. I think we did a lot of good work in the first half, but a lot left to do. Later on, there's an LCAP mid-year update, kind of like outlines all the good work, including our bridging program. We just wrapped up the first phase of bridging for this year. The second phase will start in March. Very successful. In total, 90 students were offered tutoring in the fall, and then I'm sure we'll match that in the spring. Fortunately, we've been able to staff it with our own teachers, and it's been great. This is the last year it's been budgeted, so we will have that conversation, I'm sure, next Wednesday. Thanks to Peter and Frank as well for doing the articulation. I'm working with Mrs. Villarengo, so between you, Chris, and Stephanie, we'll find some days for you if you want them. Just a reminder, I kind of referenced the budget study session, but we are on for next Wednesday at 3:30. We want to encourage our labor partners, any interested community members. We're going to provide a general overview of the budget process, talk about the governor's recent budget update and its implications, and then work together to prioritize and be creative. So hope to see you next Wednesday.
Great, thank you. BV Middle School?
Good evening. We've had a busy start to 2024. Some really fun activities at Buena Vista. Just a few highlights. Our PTO put on an absolutely outstanding event for our mothers and BVMS boys, for them to go to a dance with their mom. And I just want to shout out Araceli Canchola, who did a lot of the planning and organizing for that. It was a really fantastic event, and we're really grateful to her and all of her hard work and the team that she worked with. We also participated in Kindness Week. Participating in the Great Kindness Challenge was something that was decided by our Peer Solutions team. Their two goals for participating in that challenge was that they wanted to improve the way that Buena Vista students treat each other, and they wanted to have an impact in the way that Buena Vista students treat their teachers. So they came up with some ideas for specific challenges that the students could do over that week that would help to improve relationships between each other and then relationships with their teachers. I think overall they feel like there's still more room for improvement, but I do know for sure that I heard from some staff members that received thank you notes from some students, and some other acts of kindness that were appreciated over the course of that week. Our ASB is really busy planning the upcoming dance that's going to be coming up next week. And our PTO is already working on the father-daughter dance. That's going to be happening in March. A lot of the end of the year activities are kicking into gear. Salinas High is going to be coming to Buena Vista to visit at the end of this month to help students that are planning on transitioning over there. And then a lot of field trips are being planned. End of the year activities are being planned at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Spreckels Elementary.
Good evening. I'm going to echo the kindness challenge. We also participated in it. It was an international challenge, and over 1 million students around the world participated. We had a really good time. There was a lot of sprinkling of kindness all over Spreckels Elementary School in a lot of different ways, from the kids to the teachers to all staff members. So it was a nice week. So, and we will continue that through February. Also, as Dr. Tarallo mentioned, it was the 100th day of school on Tuesday, and we had a spirit assembly and celebrated. Our student council chose to wear 100 of something, which was definitely a challenge. But we had some incredible T-shirts and hats and necklaces and all kinds of things. The kids came in, so they either wore the number 100 or they decorated themselves with 100 of something. So very creative. It was really fun, something different that we hadn't done before. It was a good day, and we are on the downhill move, but we have lots left to do. So I'm excited about the rest of the year. I asked Dr. Tarallo if it was appropriate for me to read my letter of resignation to you, and he told me if I didn't cry, I could do it. So I'm going to take a deep breath. I wanted to do it out loud. I know you have the correspondence, but Spreckels means a heck of a lot to me. I've been here for a long time. I love it very much. And so I just wanted to share it with you out loud, and so that it can be on record. Please accept this as my letter of resignation beginning July 1st, 2024. Although it is extremely difficult to leave this incredible school district, I know it is my time to retire. As both a teacher and an administrator, I served the students, families, and staff of Spreckels Elementary School for 31 years. I am proud of my accomplishments and honored to have nurtured many students throughout these years. Thank you to all of the teachers and staff with whom I have worked. Thank you to the management staff for their collaboration and guidance. Thank you to our parents who volunteer their time to support our district. But most importantly, thank you to all of the students with whom I was able to spend my time. It was an honor, and I am truly blessed. As an educator for 43 years, I believe that there is no better place than Spreckels. I know with the care and love of the staff and the community, it will continue to thrive. With much respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Teresa, you do know we're looking for substitute teachers, right? Just in case. Take a motion.
Good. Please keep trying. Yes. Oh. Yes, for sure. Is there anybody representing SUF or PTO, Bobcat?
I'll cover that tonight if no one else steps up. I guess I'm it.
Thank you.
Okay, SUF met on the 16th, and here's the update for them. One, the Wreath Garden fundraiser was only a little over $600 profit. Costco was offering the same kind of thing for $20, and I mean, I realize it's a fundraiser, but it just didn't work out so well. Probably won't be doing that again next year, at least that way. Ballet Folklorico in grades 1 and 2 is waitlisted. It is very popular. They're expected to put on 2 to 3 performances this trimester with this half a school year, with one being at Sherwood Hall.
Oh, awesome.
Giving Tuesday, there was only $300 profit versus $1,200 last year, so that was kind of a bummer too. The flower bulb fundraiser's coming, if it hasn't come already, shortly. That's order online, direct home delivery, so you don't have to go scoop up your stuff in the schoolhouse somewhere. The hoedown date has changed. The hoedown date has changed. The hoedown date has changed. It is on the 20th day of April. I'm not going to say it the short way, because I don't want anybody giggling out there online. or in this room. But on the 20th of April, it'll be, it had to be moved. There was a scheduling error. As you may recall, the chair of the Police Activities League passed away, and then the calendar kind of got away from them. So we were able to make it the 20th of April. The 20th of April. Yeah, at the Armory, yeah. The class project auction items will be funneled through class parents. Expect for that to happen. Expect to hear more communications on the hoedown by the end of January. I suppose that's already happened or in process. The treasurer's report possibilities raised $825. The farmer's market raised $1,700. So in the bank, in the bank, there's $57,000 in the savings and $45,000 in operating account. The garden count is sitting at 7K, and there'll be a survey to see if there's interest in bringing back the talent show. That kind of went away with COVID, I think.
Yep.
If not this year, realistically, maybe next year. We'll see. That's the CUF report. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving on to business. Perfect timing with the tech.
That's me?
I guess it is.
All right, good evening. Looks like we're finally going to get some repairs done on some of the school sites. On the February recess, they're going to be replacing the HVAC system in the cafeteria or the kitchen at BV. Yay, Carrie won't be calling me when it's hot anymore. The BV solar project, that'll be Easter recess. They're going to start doing the horizontal boring from the parking lot to the electrical panel, somehow around the library and underneath the cement and all that without hitting anything, supposedly, but we'll see how that goes. The CalShape HVAC project, we've already started on some of those repairs, which is a grant that we have for repairs for HVAC equipment. You can't use any of that money for replacing equipment, but we actually had some repairs that were going to be done on room 9 and 10, but actually we're replacing those in the summertime, so we're going to be able to use that $10,500 for other repairs on the Spreckels site. So I've been going around to different rooms trying to find stuff that needs to be repaired. We've already fixed a couple last week. And for the Spreckels solar project, we're still waiting for the DSA approval for the spread footing. So once that gets done, then that project will get approved, but I have no date for starting of that one, but it should be summertime. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Survey?
Yeah, so you're going to see the, this is the school facilities needs survey from the staff. So right either before or after winter break, I worked with CFS to kind of like finalize the survey questions. I sent it to the facility committee for their suggestions. We added a few, including lockers that was on there. And these are the staff results. So about 2/3 of our staff, so about 60 people, responded, which is a good number. It's representative of classified, certificate, and administration. And basically the top priorities, kind of to the last page, in reverse order. The fifth top priority was upgrading outdated electrical. The fourth was upgrading campus security safety. The third was repairing deteriorating restrooms. The second priority was expanding, improving parking traffic. And the first was upgrading, replacing aging portables. Not shocking, and you can see the rest. It was a 5.54321 rating scale. So the next question is, where do we go from here? If we want to proceed, because the big couple upgrading portables and doing something for traffic, now you're talking bond money. So if the board wants to proceed with the bond, CFS is recommending that we do the parent and community service as one, because we're kind of up against the clock, and that would require going into contract with a professional survey consultant. That's what we did for Measure B. It was the Lou group, I think, at the time. They bring in their team, they make calls to the community. They do it specific for demographic and voting. X amount of people in this age group vote. So ask them a series of questions like, would you support a bond for $25 a square foot? And they go to 50. They kind of try to, number one, will the community support a bond, yes or no? And then at what level? So that'd be the next step. I don't know how expensive it is, but if you want me to proceed, then I would be bringing back a contract next month for us to take the next step. Yes, sir.
So are we talking about putting one on the fall 2024 ballot?
That's our timeline if we're going to do it.
What is the timeline to pull that off? Aren't we already tight on that?
We're still, so when was it? When Michael Dodge was here, he gave us the timeline. We can make it.
That.
Do you remember? We
No.
could bring it back, but it's a tight timeline, but we're on it. But we are, we're against the clock. So the idea was we were going to do a parent survey and then a community survey. And speaking to Michael last week, he said, look, if we do them both at the same time, we can make that deadline. You guys, anybody remember the date? We had to have it done by, shoot.
I mean, I remember the calendar, but I don't remember the dates.
Yeah. I could bring it back. But we are meeting that. We're watching that as we're doing, the activities.
Well, my point is I don't recommend doing it on any other election cycle than on an even year fall ballot.
Presidential, right?
Right. I think maybe you weren't here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 'cause
The law changed on that?
Well, we could do the things, the likelihood of passing.
Yeah,
So the
no,
presidential
yeah, that's,
ones are like the
yeah.
ones that pass.
You can do them in any election.
We could do it in 26,
Yeah.
but they would
As long as you
not
follow the
recommend.
timeline.
They would not recommend it because
Yeah.
they- that's the question.
Yeah.
To meet the 24.
Otherwise, you're wasting your money
Yeah.
if it fails, as far as investing in all the workup.
Yep.
So, I'm not talking about the campaign, I'm talking about the work you gotta do, the cost. So, let's get going if we're gonna do it for this fall, right? Otherwise, I recommend waiting 2 to 4 years to start over, or
The
start
board,
up.
you guys let me know. I mean, if you want to proceed, we have to do it fast. So
So did he give you a timeline? Because it sounds like he'll have to give you a proposal, and then it's going to need to be approved, and then, I mean, that's what's concerning me.
I can
So
get
we
the
can't-
proposal, the contract for you to approve or not approve in March. and
Is this
then-
just for the survey workup?
Yeah, and the results, and that's basically the results will say you have an X% chance because what do you need? 55%?
Are we okay if we approve that next month?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we
and if-
remember when we have to file by?
I don't have it off the top of my mind, but I know that he's following it.
Remember?
Summer.
We can
Yeah,
go.
maybe.
With what you said, if we don't go for it this year, then we're kicking the can to November 25,
I wouldn't do. I'd do it in an even year.
and then you're gonna kick it to 26.
Yep.
We have all these issues that need to be addressed sooner rather than later. They're not gonna
Yeah.
get better
I concur.
in 2 years.
It's like,
And you go to 26, then that means we're not gonna get started on the budget till 27.
you have me at hello. Let's get going.
Yeah.
All
right.
I don't think we have an action item. I think it's just direction.
To bring back the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The board is giving you direction to make
Move.
this happen.
To move.
Okay.
Got it.
Sounds good. Yay. Go team.
Yes, and also I just have a question about the data too, which I know
Sure.
they're going to collect more data, but I think it might be helpful if we could disaggregate by school
Okay.
site as well, because I think some of the questions might be more specific to
Could be.
one school, and so it could get diluted because
Okay.
if teachers and staff from the one
If
school
2/3 are from
don't
one
think
school,
that
right.
it's important because it's not relevant to their school, it could dilute.
That makes sense.
So I know there's a couple things on there that are site specific that might float up a little bit more.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right. Okay, food service.
Food service. So not much to update this month, other than we are finally have worked out getting together in the next couple of weeks with Salina City to kind of talk through some of the challenges that we've had. And so Jennifer's been working with them on some audit information. And so I'm hoping that we can kind of work out some of those differences that we may have and come to a good solution to secure our nutrition program for the next couple of years, which gives us more time to kind of decide where we want to go in the future. So that's good.
So maybe we'll know more by March.
By March, I'll be able to give you an update of where
Perfect.
things stand, for sure. And then for transportation, nothing to add. My transportation manager.
On now.
Okay. Oh gosh, we continue to kind of limp along. We're struggling, and I'm thinking it's time we need to get creative on doing something with their hours. We are currently at our bus driving hours are 4 hours a day, and I've been spending some time at Salina City and talking. I just talked to some of their drivers are all 8 hours a day, and the consensus for most people is they just can't live off of 4 hours a day. For me, when I started, it was perfect. I had kids at home. I was just looking for a part-time gig, but it's been like years since we've been able to really attract any drivers. And I mean, right now we have one that's out, and one of our subs is got an injured foot, so he can't drive. And so it's myself, our other driver, and our 2 retired subs, and they can't help us every day because they have lives. So then we're down from 3 routes to 2, which means I have to cut stops, which I absolutely hate to do because it impacts our families, but there's only so many kids we can transport on a bus a day. So I just really feel like it's time to take a look at what we can do to increase the hours so we can get some bus drivers in here. I mean, I know there's a national shortage too, but they can't, people can't survive off of 4 hours a day. So anyway, that's my plug.
Do we have any unfilled part-time classified positions that are not bus driver positions?
Part-time?
Part-time
Part-time.
classified positions that are not bus driver classified positions. Part-time, unfilled.
He's asking if we can extend the bus drivers. Yeah.
Paras, aides.
We're filled with paras, we're filled with aides. I think the only thing we are short on is maybe 1 noon duty. We have like 2 noon duties at BB, but we're fully staffed now at
Our current, the 2 we have actually, we've extended the day
Is
without
there
the
any way we
responsibilities.
can work with CSEA to combine classifications into a full-time position?
We could definitely have that conversation. Yeah, and it's something we've actually talked about in the
I
past.
feel like
We
I feel like I've mentioned that in the
Yeah.
past.
We've discussed it.
Wait a minute. I know I have.
No, we have discussed it. It's
Okay.
just,
All right.
we have to be here at 6:30 in the morning. So we're some of the first here, and then we're here at the end of the day. So it's that, 10-hour day trying to figure, juggle the time off in between so that there's not over. And, so anyway,
Right.
we've kind of talked about it and then let it ride. But
We're
yeah,
in crisis, right?
yeah, we are. And it's not going to get any better. So anyway, that's my plug.
We have a date next Wednesday to talk about this, don't we? No, don't we?
I have a lot of dates next week, probably. Yeah,
think
I'm sure we
we're meeting
do.
with Jets on Wednesday,
Yeah.
So we can have the conversation on Wednesday.
Well, not that kind of date.
Sorry, Andy. Didn't
I'm
mean
too
that.
tired for those kind of dates.
That's his job.
Anyway, thank you. Well, that's the whole thing. Like the Salina City, 8 hours. They have Middle of the day kindergarten. They have sports they transport to. They have a lot of field trips for like 14 or 15 schools. You just have the two. So, you know, they're farming them out doing, you know, odd jobs or helping out here, helping out there. So yeah, they did the same thing. They were 4 hours and then 6 hours, and they were running to the same thing that no, you know, people just can't live off of 6 hours a day. So they increased them to 8. So it's something that we have to look at, I think, moving forward. So anyway, that's
agree.
it. Thank you.
Thank you. So maybe we'll hear more next month. Yeah.
We'll
Perfect.
Try to be creative, yeah.
Good, good. Thank you.
Probably. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we could probably figure it out, but just it's the early late that we have to work around. Have fun.
Yeah, and then you know, being able to pull them for field trips and stuff like that. Sometimes, you know, plus or minus depending on what their other job titles are.
Yeah.
Has become, you know, then they got to find someone for that position. So it's just
Right.
it's a whole balancing thing. But I think we all have to work together to
Yeah.
make that work. If
Yeah.
we're gonna get,
Getting kids to school is like way up there on the priority.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. January 24 fund balance report.
All right. So as I have to declare every time, not a lot has changed in the last month as far as the way things go. But two things I wanted to point out that we haven't really discussed in the past with this is if you look from year to year, 23 and 24, we saw and started to see increases in benefits. And if you look at the far right column for employee benefits, you see it's a much larger number, you know, almost 300,000 over the year prior for the same date. So that's something obviously that we're all aware of, healthcare costs and encroaching, you know, PERS percentages going up year after year. So those benefit numbers are starting to really creep up. So something just to keep an eye on going forward. And then of course services, and that's just a reflection of the cost of living and the cost of goods going up as we move forward.
Almost 200K increase to classified salaries from year X to year Y.
One would be the addition of Andy's position, facilities.
That's one.
Yeah, that's one.
And two,
He's making 200K.
No.
No, no.
and 2 aides. We had 2 aides.
And the two
Last year we had 2 aides in
general
second,
ed
third grade.
aides.
2 general ed.
Yep.
Okay, part-time, right?
Yep.
That's still not enough. That still doesn't add up.
We weren't fully staffed with sped IAs, and now we are as well.
I still don't think that adds up. I'm just the salaries, it's not benefits, right?
Yes, that's the salaries.
Benefits follow. I understand that. It's just interesting to see that big of a jump from year X to year Y.
It is. I can bring an analysis to the next meeting if you'd like.
Would the former CBO salary been in there too?
There is a portion of it, yes.
You know,
So that's around 35,000 is what would have hit that line.
that's
So
for part of the year though, and then still more.
that wouldn't be, yeah, that wouldn't be a lot.
I'm just, for a district his size, it's just,
It is.
maybe needs explanation. Next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Gladly.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then I understand the benefit increase because of it. They get the
Yeah.
purses, and they increasing everything else.
Yeah, PERS is increasing, healthcare costs are increasing, so you would expect that to jump.
Yeah,
But
we don't have, there's a cap though, we don't,
yes, there is a cap.
so that's staff.
So that's where we're at with that. You know, we can go through the pretty pictures, but it's pretty much the same trend as we have been. We're getting closer and closer to catching up to prior year. You can see now this year is now the second highest for revenue at this time of year. So I expect that to rapidly increase here. Expenditures, just as we've looked at, right? So expenditures are slightly below last year's, but still up there. And fund balance is very healthy, which is really good as we move forward into kind of uncharted times here in the next budget cycle.
So breakdown on an increase on classified salaries next month.
Yes. Any questions?
Okay, school district attendance.
Get there. I'll get there in a second. All right. So this is just the report from the software. So you can see that our P1 ADA was 843.49 and with 31.1 TK students as reported. So that trend of that declining ADA caused by declining enrollment and potentially attendance issues, it's rearing its head. Our protection from that we were afforded during the COVID years for ADA, next year's the last year of that, and then we kind of fall off that cliff a little bit. Yep. So it's something we need to, what we can do is try to increase our attendance.
Right.
So getting kids to class through transportation and other mitigation strategies like Saturday schools and things like that, that the governor is now proposing, widening the scope of that to help you.
Are we, have we done, I know with universal free meals it's problematic, especially in larger districts that are socioeconomically disadvantaged, but are we ensuring that we're getting our fair share of supplemental concentration by ensuring families have filled out the necessary paperwork?
So
it's not a lot of money for us, but it's something.
So that's a
SUMP apostrophe N,
yeah.
something.
So that's a topic, a hot topic right now with everyone.
Okay.
Obviously, as you alluded to. No, we're not. So part of the quandary there is, you know, it's always referred to as the lunch application.
Yeah.
And so parents say, well, it's universal lunch. Why do I need to fill that out?
Well,
And so they're not. And so we need to better educate them. And I know Dr. Tarallo has sent out information trying to say this is bigger than just that. Hits transportation services. It can affect your UPP percentage. We're not alone. There are districts that because they're not getting enough applications filled out that have actually lost their 60% funding. There's 22 districts, I believe, statewide that have literally lost 60% additional funding because of this one issue. So it's something that as we gear up for next year's enrollment, we need to try to get ahead of it somehow.
When we do the paperwork roundup, we got to make sure we educate folks on that.
Yes.
And there's a stigma about filling that out too.
I understand.
Absolutely. Well,
You have to have the soft skills, eh?
Yep.
well, and I think today, weren't we talking about like a parent academy? I think Brianna brought up something like that for the beginning of the academic year. Maybe this could be a part of that rolled in there.
Right. That's a good point.
And we can put things on the website, you know, get some media. And whether or not they go there, I don't know. But the more
Parent Square.
the more attack vectors, for lack of a better term, is the better we can maybe reach people. But we need to do something because those numbers are low.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, maybe jumping on this academy, if we encourage these applications, we can also do the education around attendance, chronic absenteeism, because I mean, it really is going to.
It's all tied together.
Yeah, it's going to require a lot of different angles and support.
I agree.
Great. Just kind of showing you the year to year. You know, you can see it right there. There's your drop down from 2019, 2020. And it's just a steady, slow, steady roll. Not as bad as a lot of places. Some places are 20% down in ADA. But we continue to just kind of slowly slide down. And it's a real concern. So something to put all the brain power and that collaboration that we talk about. Now's the time to really start doing that and really address it and figure out how do we address these issues and maintain the services that we have, because that's obviously the goal. It's the best educational environment we can. So that's where we are with that. You can see here projecting out. This uses a formula that essentially looks at the last 3-year average. So we're looking at P2. You see an increase there. That's only if we get about a 1% increase in our attendance rates. So that would give us a jump up to 852 in our ADA. So that shows you the importance of communicating with parents and making sure kids are in school, because it does make that much of a difference. So 1%, you're looking at 9 kids, 9 ADA almost, which is for us, a significant
Right.
boost.
What's the enrollment?
Probably
About
around nine-
887, I
900,
think,
yeah.
at CBED's Day.
Yeah, what was day one enrollment?
Day 1 enrollment
Yeah, not P1, just what's our enrollment? Forget ADA, what's our enrollment?
today. That I do not have that number right in
We
front of
started
me.
at 903 and then we're down probably the 890s.
Yeah, on CBED's Day, though, we were at 887. Yeah.
I think we had looked at it before in one of the other months in some of the graphics. I mean, it isn't a large number of students, right? When we
No.
think about percentage-wise. And it feels like it's doable. We've talked about that if we reached out, if we really wrap around these handful of students for a district our size, it feels like we could make a difference. It's not like, it's not 300 students,
No.
right? It's
No.
it really is a
Yeah, and
handful.
those
And I'm
calls are being
sure,
made, right?
I'm sure these are identified students. I'm
No,
sure the
I have-
district or the teachers know who these
Yeah.
students are
Absolutely.
who are struggling. Something is happening, right?
Right.
It's unlikely they just don't want to come to school, right?
No.
There's other things going on, but reaching out to them and find out what those
Yep.
challenges are and connecting them with resources so that we can get them into school. It feels doable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any other questions on that? Anything you'd like me to bring next time? Do you want some enrollment numbers to go with that?
Actually,
Can we troubleshoot the chronics by some lineal ID number? And if their actual ID number is not kosher, maybe some just like generic numbering system, just to see the patterns. You know, pick maybe your 10, 20 most, chronics, and see how they're reporting in for their absences, what the excuse is.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's talk about maybe home visits
Yep.
by staff or the soup,
Phone calls at least, yeah.
heck, bring me along. I'll drag them back to school
All right.
if I'm in town.
Okay.
All right.
So next, governor's proposal. So what I included in your handout is a presentation that was given to us, all the business officials here in the county, from Michelle McKay,
but
who's,
we're clear what I was asking for.
yes, absolutely.
We're good. Okay, sorry.
10 to 20 students, chronic absentee, heavy
Reason for
hitters, reasons for
I got it.
absences. You got it. So,
In the same household?
yes. Okay, yep, that's right. She's the vice president for School Services of California. And I gave you the entire presentation, which takes about a good hour and a half easy to go through. So I thought what I'd do is, if you're okay with it, just kind of give you some high-level thoughts on what we had there. So 37.9 billion shortfall for the state, due largely to 2022 tax revenues. Coming in far below what they had projected. Lots of reasons around that, but here we are, right? So the governor been very generous to education, and he's really looking at ways to mitigate the impact, which is a $12 billion deficit for education alone. And so what we're looking at are some untested methods that he's suggesting be done to address this issue, so that kind of a hold harmless to education, where no cuts, just kind of keep us moving forward. Very small COLA, no deferrals, no sweeps of income from programs, really trying to just keep it where we are, status quo as best he can. Whether or not the legislature is going to see that, because the proposal is just that, it's just a proposal. It's no different than an act of fiction at this point. We don't know what's going to happen. Some of the big risks are certainly other industry sectors not being real happy with the fact that education didn't take the hits that they may be asked to take. So what their lobbyists can do, we don't know. Going into an election cycle, we don't know what the legislators thinking, depending on their constituents. So there's a lot of unknowns. Positives are, the thought was from Michelle was that COLA will probably end up more like around 1. It's not a big jump, but it's something, but about 1. What they don't talk about is there's a risk in that. By increasing that COLA, because of the effects on Prop 98 monies for the state, it puts us at risk of a further deficit at the state level, which at some point is going to have to be addressed, and we're reaching that point where the Prop 98 reserve may not ever be able to refresh itself back to make it whole. So those are the kinds of things that they're going to have to talk about in legislative sessions. What are we going to do with this? So, yeah, I know. So there's a lot of really, there's risks out there, and that's one of the reasons why we are in a good position with a nice, healthy fund to possibly weather some of this. And so as we move forward, we do have to do some protection of our fund to make sure we can weather that if it goes beyond just next year. So, I mean, that's really the big takeaway from this is we got spared so far from the governor. Now we just have to hope it holds in legislature. It's not as bad as it could have been by any stretch. And then we just move forward and tighten our belts with unnecessary spending if there is any. There's not a lot in this district, to be quite honest. And it's just really identifying those programs that add the most value, taking care of our employees, and just moving it forward and making sure our kids get the best programs we can offer them, given the situation. Any questions about the governor's budget?
All right. Monterey County Office of Education Review, 23-24, first interim.
So this is just the report that we get back, kind of certifying that they have approved our first interim budget, and that everything looks good, that we meet the minimum reserved requirement for the reserve, which is 4% for our size district. And there's kind of the highlights of it right there. Total revenues 12.5, total expenditures 12.4, net increase to the fund balance of 94,000. Not as healthy as we'd like to see probably, but still very good given the circumstances. And that's the report from the county.
The 23-24 CONAP certified.
Motion to approve the 2023-2024 CONAP certified 1/11/24 all to board February 1.
Okay.
Monterey County School Boards Association. Excellence.
We need to.
It's one right
Did you have anything to
4.6.
add to that?
Oh, I have nothing to add.
Staff, we're done?
This is just how we spend federal money.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So we need a vote.
It's just
All
a
in favor?
compliance
We need to
measure.
vote on it first.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. 23-24 Monterey County School Boards Association, the nominees for excellence in education.
And there's
Do
a
we
lot of
have-
nominees this year. A lot of nominees, more than before.
Well, it's not a simple motion. We have to vote on it. We have to pick something.
Right. In the past, we try to nominate programs that affect our kids directly. On this list, where we go to the top.
Where's the nominees?
Yeah.
That's
That's the
that's
past
just
Those are
one
the
previously.
Yeah, there's like 3 programs nominees this time.
But there, it didn't look like there were many that
see.
were affiliated with
No.
Spreckels.
The aerial theater is one that
Right.
benefits our kids.
First
Recently,
team.
Mrs. Jones and I think brought about almost 100 kids to the Carmel
Oh,
Foundation.
good. Okay,
So
good.
yeah, so that might be one. That's the gosh, what's the official title of that? The Ideas and Authors.
Oh,
Is
well,
that
good,
one?
good. Oh,
So we've had quite a few kids benefit from that. First Tee of Monterey also just
Motion to nominate Aerial Theater, Authors and Ideas, and First Tee.
Any other
good. Any se-
those are the three that I could think of that directly impact our kids.
Do we have to rank order them or just throw them all down?
I think we have to rank order them.
Yes.
We'll do it
That's
alphabetically.
what it said.
It's killing me.
I mean, it's arbitrary.
Motion to rank order in the following order of priority: aerial theater, authors and ideas, and first tee in that order.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Good choices.
Cafeteria fund transfer resolution.
Motion to approve by roll call vote resolution 23-24 /12 cafeteria fund transfer to all.
Okay.
So that's just making sure that we keep our nutrition program moving forward. That's all
Okay.
that is.
Roll call vote. Frank? Steve?
Two L's and McDougal. But yes, aye.
Oh, it's not
Inside
me.
joke in case anybody's listening out there.
Stephanie, yes.
Part of my histrionics
Peter?
with a different
Okay,
history.
Chris absent. Okay, motion passes.
Two L's and McDougal, Mr. Vidusco.
Curriculum instruction, nothing?
Nope.
Okay. Request for job share, looks like it's the next item under personnel.
We need, that's that action? Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I
Is
think
there a
Mrs.
Second?
I feel like Mrs. Lehman was like looking over my notes, but for the same reason she listed, we definitely want to keep our valued teachers and support new and growing families. So they do a wonderful job together. This is his third year, and so we want to recommend approval.
Okay, ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. First read, Spreckels Elementary School Principal.
Hey.
These are just the edits. It's been 14 years since this has been flown, and so we kind of updated it, and we'd like you to approve it so we could fly it.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Fly that as soon as tomorrow, please.
Okay, committees updates?
Just real quickly, our safety committee wrapped up situational awareness, and now we're going to move on to behavioral threat analysis. From the larger committee, we're going to go down to a core group. Basically, it's 3 or 4 people per site. If there's an issue, they would be like mobilized to take a closer look and identify it. So that happens through the MCOE. They're
Which
providing
committee
that,
is this? I'm sorry.
the threat assessment
Oh,
training.
okay. Safety
Yeah.
committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
The calendar committee meets on Monday,
Oh,
and
timely.
Mrs. Lehman's not. You know what? We
I just want to point out that the Spreckels calendar is the anomaly when compared to almost everyone else.
I'm going to read this verbatim. It says, I've
case you
received
didn't
feedback
notice.
from parents
In case folks didn't
Yeah.
notice.
with students at both sites, and they're requesting a better alignment of the high school calendar.
Yeah.
So I talked to
It's not just
Superintendent
high schools,
Burns.
Everybody else is pretty much aligned with
I
us.
know.
Okay.
So I have the main dates from Superintendent Burns. And other than starting that early, I think, well, with the calendar committee, there's going to be room to better align it. Doing it identical is going to throw off things we do culturally and things that we expected. So I think we can find a balance increasing the days. You know, so
But to have them more aligned, you're better off coming to everyone else, because everyone else isn't going to come
No.
to here,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
That's how that flows. You're not gonna get everybody else to change
that's true.
to
I
you.
mean, if we align Easter,
Or
Thanksgiving,
us,
they're going to do
Them.
most of our winter break, other than 3 weeks. They do 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We do 2.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think that's what we've heard
No, I've
primarily
heard too.
is about
And, you
spring
know,
break.
And this year, actually, Easter's really late. We've been attaching to Easter. And this year?
Yep.
I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, so they're doing the last week of March, so it might work nicely to what we've done, right?
Okay. So
Right. Do we have broad representation on the calendar committee? Like representing all the different stakeholder groups? Like,
We have one parent, but Ms. Lehman, you're more than welcome to join us. 4 o'clock here on Monday. Is it 4? 4 o'clock? 4 on Monday, right here. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe we have another parent on too.
okay.
Oh, and
Alright.
last, we kicked off LCAP season today. We held a virtual meeting earlier. Kind of went over I went over the process of the LCAP. Very well-represented group. We have parents from both sites, teachers from both sites, parent group representatives, we have a board member, administration, we had classified, and a lot of great suggestions. Really, we went item by item through the mid-year review. In a few minutes, I can go item for item with you, or kind of just summarize. Took about 45 minutes the first time, so whatever you want to do. And our next meeting's on the 29th of next month. So we'll be meeting every month to give you updates and start building our LCAP.
Anything else?
I'm sorry,
under,
that's it for committees.
Under committees?
Nope.
What's the board bylaw order of business? Is that your item?
That's just standard. Was that a board policy we just updated that we bring every year?
Yeah.
Kind of just
Do we
shows you
need to
how.
vote on it?
Is it action? No. It's just it's
Information.
It's information, yeah.
Okay. On to action, the school safety plan?
Local, the LCAP mid-year?
Oh, okay, go ahead. I thought you were just talking about under committees. Okay.
Right. So,
All right.
a new requirement this year was to bring a mid-year LCAP review to the board. So this basically breaks down each of our 5 goals, the metrics that we use to kind of evaluate our success or areas of need. And then each goal is broken down to its actions and then what we've done so far. This is the end. This LCAP's the end of a 3-year cycle. So the desired outcome would be when we started, in 21, 22, where we're going to be in 3 years. I can go over this one as a sample, and then for your viewing pleasure, if you want to go to the rest. So goal 1 talks about providing academic and social emotional support to kids that need it. It talks about the bridging program, how many kids have taken part. Last year was 127 total tutoring. At the mid-year point, we had 88. 109 were pulled out for intervention. We had 132. So we are maintaining, if not growing. Then the LCAP, the CAS scores, that's where I shared the dashboard. We had a dip in math, but we're making progress in ELA. That's where we wanted to be at the end of this year. You can take a look. We're on track if we grow by 2% a year for ELA, but math, we have work to do. And then the next section of this is the social emotional. We'll talk about how many kids are being referred to the counselor, their caseloads, and things like that. And then for each item, is it fully implemented? Is it partially? Is it planned? Is it not implemented? And then the mid-year outcome and the other evidence, those are optional columns. So I put in just a narrative to better explain some of them. Some are self-explanatory. And then where we are mid-year. A lot of these look low for the mid-year expenses or the expenditures, and that's because either the event hasn't happened or the billing hasn't happened or something like that. So any questions about other goals or actions, or you want to take a closer look? We're doing well. I mean, our LCAP,
We're on track to spend.
we're on track to spend
That's
and
what I
to
wanna hear.
support kids. Yep.
We're not on track to put it in the reserve.
No.
Good.
No.
That was the right answer.
Right. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay.
All right. Action, the school safety plan now.
Motion
Right.
to approve. Go ahead, Eric.
So there's a March 1st deadline to get this in front of you. And since we meet so early, there's a couple components that need to be added. I was at a Safe School Coalition meeting last week, and they identified 3 new Senate bills that need to be included here. For example, we need to have a opioid overdose plan section. So right now I send it to the county for initial feedback. I will add those 3 components and bring it back to you. But this is basically the 120-something pages of what we do in every kind of crisis.
Any questions?
It will be coming back once those components are in there, but we met the March 1st.
Okay, but you want us to take action on this one?
Yes,
and
please.
then-
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Passes.
Motion to approve first read October 2023 policies per guide sheet.
Second. Oh, no,
No,
they're,
nothing to say? Okay.
no, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Passes. And on to the consent.
I'd like to pull the contracts, 8.3 American Star Tours reservations. There's 3 of them for May 6th, May 8th, and May 10th.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm okay with the rest of consent agenda.
Okay.
What explanation?
No.
Oh.
I heard or recall from one of my constituents / customers about including 7th graders. So I thought maybe this would be the time to talk about that.
Okay. It's a nice idea. I can just tell you the work's gone in just pulling off 6th grade.
Mm-hmm. Is the interest because they lost the opportunity to go?
Yep.
Due to COVID, I guess.
Yep.
This was last year, though, right? They were 6th
Last
graders
year, Mrs. Pagran called all over and they're booked. So we're
Oh.
lucky to get this booking for this
Probably
year. For that
because
group.
people trying to make up
Yep.
from years gone by during COVID.
Yep. So we were lucky to get a week in May this year for our 6th graders. It's divided into 2 days and 2 days. That's why there's 3 different dates on there.
Let me ask you this. So you're saying it's kind of too late in the game to include the 7th graders. Would it be problematic as far as age,
As 8th
if
graders,
they did it as 8th graders?
you read my mind.
Okay.
So they also didn't get a 4th grade trip because the current 7th graders didn't get a 4th grade trip because of COVID. So they haven't had any trip. They don't have any.
So
Maybe-
could
maybe
you come
instead of
back?
science camp
Could you come back next month or the month after
with ideas.
about the idea of this year's 7th graders getting a trip, if not this year, next year?
A significant trip.
It
but
doesn't
not
have to be
camp.
science. It
Right.
could be something tied to 8th grade, scope and sequence in the curriculum.
For sure.
But, okay.
I think that's a good compromise. Yeah, science camp.
All right.
You do 2 in a year. You have competing fundraisers.
I'm not.
Right.
Do 7th graders vote? Do 7th graders vote? Okay, I'm just kidding. It's election year.
Yeah.
You sure? Yeah. With that, I'm okay putting the contracts back into the consent agenda, and I'll make a motion to approve the entire whole enchilada of consent.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Consent agenda passes. Is there anything to add to future agenda items?
Yes. 8th grade trip. Next year's 8th grade trip, not this year's 8th grade trip. I'm drilling down on chronic absentees.
Yep. Got it.
Bond information. Thank you. I was
and-
going to forget that.
And
yeah.
actually, I
Oh,
think-
and explanation on the increase on classified salaries. That's all I got.
and then I think we had talked about it earlier this fall about having a monthly update on bullying and the addressing
You want
bullying.
to actually agendize, or like the things like the kindness month that you rather have it agendized?
Like maybe in your update or,
Okay.
I can't remember where you had it exactly in the
Yeah, we
previous
had it as
months.
an agenda item. We could put it back, but normally it comes out of like the reports. But we can definitely make it.
I mean,
a standalone.
personally, I'm fine with it being an agenda item because I think it's pretty critical.
Okay. Can make sure we do that. Add bullying prevention as a permanent agenda item under probably curriculum instruction or administration, something like that.
All right, have a motion?
Motion to adjourn. 8:17. Well, we
Okay.
haven't adjourned yet.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
It's still 8:17.
Thank you.